I am Ridona Berisha, project coordinator for the Break the Ice project. When we first designed the Break the Ice project, we had a very nice idea of how we would bring together youngsters from Prishtina and youngsters from Leskovac to have a cultural cooperation and to create a friendship. We designed this project in order to literally break the ice between youngsters from Prishtina and from Leskovac and to break the social barriers that exist. So we designed a project idea which would bring them together for some training that would include peace, reconciliation, peace building, gender equality, and respecting each other's opinions. So we initially selected participants from the agriculture and business school here in Prishtina, and then we selected some youngsters from Leskovac in cooperation with our partner Educațione Center there in Leskovac. So we had 10 participants from Prishtina and 10 participants from Leskovac who would be part of this project and would cooperate together in all the cultural activities that we have prepared and designed within this project. We held some training with youngsters in Prishtina and youngsters in Leskovac. It was meant to be separately due to the travel. So we had separate trainings in Prishtina and in Leskovac with the same topics, so that when we would gather the participants for the joint youth camp that was meant to be held somewhere in Kopaonik or here in Brezovica, we would further elaborate those topics, and we would create a friendship, and we would have a stronger connection between youngsters from Prishtina and from Leskovac. But due to the COVID-19 pandemic, we had to stop all our activities for a certain period of time, and then we had to redesign things and turn to the online mode, which made it impossible to have the camp in person and the exchange visits that were meant to take place in Prishtina and Leskovac. We would send youth from Prishtina and Leskovac and visit some places which youth from Leskovac would suggest us to, and we would do the same here in Prishtina. We would bring youngsters from Leskovac to Prishtina and would give them a tour guide here in Prishtina and present them with the most interesting things and schools here in Prishtina.
Implementing Break the Ice project in the time of pandemics was very difficult, very complex, but not impossible. We had several obstacles beside the moment that we couldn't gather people together to meet live, beside the moment to get adapted to a new situation and use online tools. We were also facing our own prejudice and our own stereotypes, how to get young people involved in intercultural exchange between Leskovac and Prishtina. For us, it was the first type of project that included youth from both cities, and we were thinking more how they will be ready to talk and to have intercultural dialogue. At the end, it went very well, and it was one of the most challenging but one of the most beautiful projects we had a chance to implement.
Për trit e qytetit Leskovcit e kom pas një përshtypje krejt tjetër, po me kalimin e kohës, gjatë kohës që jena njoftu, e kem pas që kem shumë sene të përbashkëta, për shembull shkollë, aktivitetet ndryshme, qefet ndryshme që për shembull kanë tregu, unë kom qef me bo këto, unë kom qef me bo këto, edhe unë kom thonë ka dalë së dhoni pas nat njejtat, edhe ka kalu dyqysh interesant u konë se i kem pas shumë gjonat njejta, edhe i kum njoft shumë a mirë që do më thomë kanë la veç për shtypjet mirë.
The interesting thing about this project was that we established a different kind of cooperation with Abdul Froshri High School in Pristina. We had previous cooperations for other projects, but none of them was of this kind of nature, taking students from Pristina and sending them abroad in other parts of the region, especially for a specific purpose, to create a friendship and a cooperation and to break the social barriers that exist amongst youth of Pristina and some other cities in the region. The school staff was very collaborative and very welcoming, open to the idea. They helped us with everything, organizing stuff and selecting the students, keeping them interested on project activities, and provided us with a space for trainings and helped us organize some parts of the training which was foreseen to be held within the project.
Implementacija programa Break the Ice ili Probi led je bila veoma izazovna i za mene jedinstvena. Kako u trenutku pandemije organizovati razmenu, druženje i upoznavanje mladih iz Leskovca i Prištine, koje smo svi sa nestrpljenjem iščekivali. Zbog onemogućenog susreta uživo, osmislili smo da ta interkulturalna razmena, odnosno dijalog, ipak bude, ali ovog puta online. Uz pomoć raznih online alata, mladi iz Leskovca i Prištine imali su tu priliku da otvoreno i uz međusobno poštovanje diskutuju o najrazličitijim temama. A onda je došla ta online razmena, gdje smo upoznali fantastične mlade ljude koji su na fenomenalan način prezentovali i vodili nas kroz svoje gradove i kulture, prepoznavali i razbijali stereotipe i predrasude. Sam projekat je bio zahtevan, ali po meni veoma uspješan. I nadam se da ćemo uskoro moći i uživo da se družimo svi zajedno.
We initially envisioned only to have one documentary which would present all the process from the beginning to the end of the project, and it would be one of the end products and a long-lasting product of this project. But due to the COVID-19 pandemic, we had to rewrite our project proposals and project ideas and switch to the online mode, which made us have some slight changes in the project implementation, and we had to create something that would still keep the main idea of the project but add new elements and new aspects to it. So we came up with an idea to have an online exchange platform, which would serve us as a platform where people would bring things from their city, from their area, from their neighborhood, or any place that they have visited and find interesting, and put them on that platform, which will be an online intercultural exchange platform, which will be as a final result of this project. Since we initially planned to have exchange visits in person here in Prishtina and in Leskovac, and send people to some most important places or most interesting and visited places in both cities, we had to still keep this idea and reframe it a little bit so that it would have the same impact, but in this case it will be even more long-lasting, since we will have everything on an online platform which will be designed specifically for this project, and then it can be further extended in other regions and in other places, and we will not have things only from Prishtina or Leskovac. People will be able to send us pictures, videos and blogs from any city or any historical monument or touristic place or the like, and then we will include them in this online intercultural exchange platform, which will be something that has not happened in the Western Balkans until now, and this will be the first platform of this kind where where people will have kind of a tour guide in the Western Balkans in general, which they can visit and see places and historical monuments, galleries, and tour guides of different cities of the Western Balkans. Some of the topics that we elaborated during our trainings in person and online were leadership, resolving conflicts, peace building, gender equality, and managing emotions. We had a lot of fun games and activities during these trainings, and it was very welcomed by the participants, and especially some games that we had on trust building, on managing emotions, and on expressing creativity, which were very nice and attractive, and took us even more of the foreseen time, since the students and participants wanted to keep on with those activities. We had some fun games and activities during the online camp as well, and even though online activities are like more challenging and it's a bit harder to organize online activities, we had some fun games and puzzles and music games which were meant to be exploring cultures and stuff like that, which had the participants become very eager and keen on learning more about those things, and cooperating with each other in solving puzzles, in solving crosswords, and other activities and games that we had prepared for the online camp. So this made us believe that if it was possible to have the camp in person, it would be even more. We would have even more outputs than foreseen initially.
Ka qenë diçka interesante se më ka rënë me njoftu kultura të reja, shoqëri të re, më thonë edhe gjuhë të re, që për një me si ku më ditë për ato dhona, mandej ka qenë te pjesë të kampit kena diskutuar shumë tema, qoftë për kulturën tonë në Prishtinë, qoftë për kulturën prej pjesëmarrësve prej Leskovcit, po edhe për kulturat botërore që mund na më thonë i një edhe bota.
Of course, this project wouldn't be possible without our partner Educațione Center Leskovac, which have done a great job in getting people together, high school students and youth workers, which were participating in all the activities organized within this project, and they made some very good presentations for the online exchange visits that we had, and they had prepared some tour guides in Leskovac. They presented us with the most interesting places to visit, some places for youngsters to go, nightclubs, art galleries, and others. And they presented us with the short history of the city. We saw the main schools of the Leskovac city. We learned more about their history and everything that would be interesting for anyone who wants to visit Leskovac. So even though it was virtual, we got the most important and the main informations about Leskovac, the history of city, the most interesting places to visit, its schools, its youth places, and its natural beauties.
Që se krasojna fillimin në fund ka qenë një ndjesi fenomenal. Se në fillim do me thonë jo rrethiri, shoqëri e re, pra do me thonë po kur ka ardhur te fundi kom kriju më me thonë një shoqëri shumë interesante atje, se sa këtu me disa prej tyre, gjë që ka qenë shumë interesante për mua. Po ashtu unë shpresoj që kemë marrë pjesë qoftë edhe projekte tjera sikur Break the Ice, qoftë edhe ndonjë projekt tjetër që paraqitet prej organizatës apo edhe prej organizatave.
When I was asked to participate in the online youth camp, I expected it to be really interesting because we had a chance to meet people who have different culture than ours, and to communicate with them and to see their city and present our city to them. All of the workshops were really interesting and I had a lot of fun. I was quite sad that we couldn't meet in person, but it was a nice experience and I hope that I will have the chance to meet young people from Prishtina soon. Stay safe.